Polishing rocks can take forever, or so it seems, but today I'm going to see if I can do it in just 5 minutes. Come along. So many beautiful rocks. That's a nice thing to find on my way out. Alright, I'm going to give you a little tour of the machine first. This is my Richardson's high-speed sander. It is a sander that uses diamond discs to polish in just an incredibly short amount of time. This is something that I purchased used. I have it along with a buffing wheel, also from Richardson's. The machine comes with just this attachment here, and then underneath you can see that there's a screw here. And Jared, when he got his, currently rock hounding, when he got his, he recommended getting a phenolic disc to keep the sandpaper from dipping down in the middle, which I thought was a pretty cool idea. And I went a step further and I glued the sandpaper onto the phenolic disc so that changing the sandpaper is a little bit of a less hassle, which is pretty cool. It works great. This is the hose for my shop vac. The shop vac is just down here. And I know that a lot of people think dry sanding is really a terrible, dangerous thing for rocks, and it would be if the dust ended up in my lungs. However, it goes from here through a little vent into the hose and down to the bottom. It really has had, I've done quite a lot of sanding and it's really done just very little in terms of dust. I do wear dust mask and ear protection just because safety first, but it really works slick. I do have all my different discs out, and I told you already that I adjusted the discs so that we can use velcro, because that just makes it a whole lot faster than having to use the little screw thing. And so we're going to polish today this piece of amethyst. Jim bought this in Tucson when we were there, and he wants to have it so that he can set it on the shelf. So we're going to see if we can do this today in 5 minutes. I'm going to go ahead and film the whole thing in real time. I will put a timer on it so you can see what we're doing. this is what it looks like so far. I'll wash it off for you so you can see really what it looks like. And here you have it. You can see the reflection of the clouds. There's the sun trying to come out. Now, if I were not, you know, doing a video and trying to do this in 5 minutes, which it can be done, obviously, I might take a little bit more time. And the real main holdup apparently is just me putting discs on. Even though it has Velcro, I have trouble getting them centered. So if anybody has any suggestion about that, let me know. Anyway, I think this is really pretty. I'm really impressed. Very helpful. Okay, so this is the piece after I repolished it. I realized after I spent a little bit more time working on it that the things that I thought were scratches were in fact these, you're not helping, Moji, were in fact these crystals that have, you know, gaps between them. This is a piece of amethyst that the crystals grew up and then they grow down and they join together. So it's something that there's some of it that's just not going to be very polishable, but the stuff that is turned out really nice. Here's a few other pieces just to give you a taste. This is a piece of petrified wood, and the lights above me are actually, they have a plastic thing over them, so they're not very, they don't reflect very well, but it gives you an idea at least of how shiny it is. And I found that this particular piece of wood had some places, like right there, that were either softer or harder or something. They were different texture, and they didn't polish the same way. So that was interesting. This is just a big old chunk of petrified wood, agatized wood. Other things that are fun to polish are agates, of course. And this one is just had some kind of cool stuff in it, so I thought, well, we'll polish the end of it and see what happens. You can see that I have a little bit of cerium oxide still left in there. I need to stick it in the cleaner, I think, because it's not quite right. But so shiny. Look, you can see me. Hi. This is another piece of petrified wood, and you can see all the little squiggles in here. And then if you look at the shine has squiggles too, so that's interesting. It just tells me that there's still maybe a little bit of texture in there, or the squiggles have a different hardness than the stuff in between them, and so we don't get a nice glossy sheen, but boy, it sure is pretty anyway. And this is what the rest of it looks like. Did a lot of petrified wood. This is one of my favorite pieces. Jim actually found this one, I think. And again, the cerium oxide needs to be cleaned out of the cracks, but look how shiny it is. Yeah, so pretty. The reason I love face polishing is because it gives you you can see what the rock looked like in the first place, and then you turn it over and you see what looks inside, and it's the inside at its very best, and I just think that's really cool. And speaking of really cool, this is a little shelf piece that I made out of an agate that has banding around it. It has dendrites, and it's polished on both sides, so you can set it up on the shelf. Put a light behind it, maybe underneath it. Be really, really pretty. Anyway, I would never be able to do this, I think, with a flat lap, because it would just take too much time and it would make me too annoyed. So this is a good tool for me. Well, that's it for today. Hope you enjoyed yourself. If you want to share in the treasures, check out my Etsy store, Katie Did Rocks. The link is in the description below, and I started listing some of these face polished rocks. Thanks for coming along. Keep on doing.